setting up right here. So I want to give first and foremost, I want to give all praises to Salaki. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Kakadash, Divine Sebasa, El's Great Millstone, and rule well. And peace and salutations to you sincere brothers out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. The humble, the lowly men that the Lord is dealing with, ones who are trying to purify ourselves to the best of our ability until the Lord comes back and He finally purifies us and gives us that new flesh and that new heart. Just real quick, because the hot thing in the news right now is the border, the chaos at the border, chaos. The people flooding the border. The northern kingdom was flooding the border, and you have a lot of Israelites who still will say that Native Americans and so-called Latinos are not Israelites, and that those people crossed over the Alaskan, the ice in Alaska or whatever, the Alaskan Russia, but it's already been proven you can't actually walk over that particular ice bridge. But at the end of the day, the thing that indicates whether you're an Israelite is not an afro, it's not even necessarily your skin color, because you have Israelites who are what is known as confusion of race. Because, of course, the men in the ancient world were all dark-skinned men, just like it tells you in, I believe that's Jeremiah 14:2. We are black unto the ground. That word there is kadar, for dark skin. And so that was a trait in the ancient world, but here today, that over the course of time and slavery, all of that has changed. So you can't just judge somebody being an Israelite based on them being dark-skinned. That's what I'm trying to say. Ultimately, the spirit discerns if you're an Israelite or not. And basically, the hot topic right now is the border. You got all these people trying to go over the border, whether it be Mexicans, whether it be people coming up from Central and South America. Because basically what happened is, just like the scriptures tell us, the Israelites were scattered. And it even says to the four corners of the earth. So that has to include South America. There have to be Israelites in South America. And yes, in many cases, those countries, we know that they're run by Edomites, of course, because that's who founded many of those countries. Edomites, they were founded just like America by colonies. But ultimately, there are millions of Israelites down there. And we know that those people a lot of them are coming up to receive their fate, whether it be for them to be sealed along with the elect, or for them to be sealed for destruction. Okay, and I'm just the scriptures prove that. It's Deuteronomy 28:63. That's just a simple scripture, but it says a lot. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And when you look all through South America, that's exactly what you see. In Brazil, it's the famous statue of Serapis Christus, standing up. And all through South America, that's just the biggest one, but all through South America, you have those false images of stone and of wood. And all those people have been praying to those things. And but it can't stop, the destruction that the Lord is bringing. And I'm going to just play this video.
Many of them are coming over this border into Colombia. you see people with suitcases full of all their belongings.
Israelites.
They don't know where they're going. They just know they need to get out of their country.
Todas las tiendas están cerradas, todas las tiendas porque ya quebraron los negocios, las carnicerías, los supermercados.
If you need proof of how bad it is in Venezuela right now, look at this purse. This purse is made entirely of the bills of the Venezuelan currency, the bolívares. Inflation is so high that this money is now completely worthless. And so my friend Jorge over here has gathered a ton of this stuff and turned it into commodities, purses, into sculptures.
That's crazy.
It is worse than it sounds, and it sounds pretty bad.
And that's how you know he's an Israelite. Look
The
at that.
country's inflation rate will rise to 1,000,000%.
1,000,000%.
Yo tengo aquí el que estuviera esto en Venezuela tenía
All this
plata.
money, you would have been rich, a millionaire.
More than 1 million Venezuelans have moved into Colombia in recent years.
So that's crazy. They actually are making, and that's how you know that they're Israelites. You know, that level of creativity, only Israel could do that, but he's actually making sculptures and purses and practical things with the money that's not worth shit, because inflation is at 1,000,000%, and that is insane. And all of this, these Edomites are complaining, Trump is complaining. He actually came out on Thanksgiving, which that's supposed to be a sacred holiday for America, which Thanksgiving is bullshit, and actually proclaimed that, look, if people rush the border, we're going to put troops at the border. And that's what they've done. They put troops at the border. They've shut down many of those border crossings. They put barbed wire in many of those locations. And, they're trying to seal it off. And you got different factions in America. Some Democrats are saying, well, look, let them come on in, because they want to use them for their agenda. They want to use them as basically slave laborers. And then you got some people just saying, look, just keep them out, whatever, or if they try to rush the border, shoot them down. All these people are fucking under the guise of the devil. Okay? If those people, many of those people, which, I don't know everybody, but I know when people are under the curses, and I can see the zeal of their spirit, those people are Israelites. And here in 2018, because you have a lot of places in America still where so-called black people and so-called Hispanic people have not interacted that much or that well still at this point. Here in St. Louis, there's over a couple of years now, there's been an increase in so-called Latino people. I didn't mean to say Hispanic, but Latino people. And a lot of those people, I pray, well, it's up to the Lord, but, if it being, I don't want to Ratazah, they're going to be sealed because they're Israelites. And I was looking up something else too, because you try to look and people make assumptions, but this article actually said most Native Americans live in cities, not reservations. And so these people, you got brothers all over, brothers building up, the brotherhood is building up, the ministry is building up in all the cities, and we're going to keep, Lord willing, until he decides otherwise, we're going to keep building up and if these people will be, because Gad has to be sealed too. The tribe of Gad, 144,000. So the Gadites, aka the Native Americans, and the Reubenites, aka Seminoles, and the Asherites, and all those other people in Brazil, in the Caribbean, a lot of them are going to get pushed out of their land. They're going to have to come up here, and a lot of them are going to be sealed. Because the Lord has to seal 144,000 plus 1/3 of Israel is going to be sealed as well. So that's very important. And a lot of these people identify as so-called black, or they might identify as Mexican, but they might be Native American. Since today, 78% of Native Americans live off reservation, 72% live in urban or suburban environments. There you go. So, they're not necessarily under the tribe. We don't necessarily have any camps in a reservation or anything like that. But hey, the Lord is going to bring those people to us. You know, if they be of the elect, or if the Lord has used them, the Lord is going to bring them to us. So this is another one too. And that's how you know that these people are Israelites once again. Why am I caping for them? Because I really believe that they're Israelites. Native Americans revealed their secrets to preventing forest fires. And this is something that Esau, you know, they never learned this one. You know, they didn't teach this one. The forest fires in the West are up almost threefold in the past 3 decades. Now we know that's because of the Most High ultimately. This most recent devastating spout left over 1,000 people missing. Centuries ago, the Native Americans may have successfully learned to fight fire with fire. They deliberately started fires in order to free up land for agriculture or promote the growth of certain plants that would attract deer and other animals that they could hunt. The occasional controlled fires help to clear away the brush and debris and rejuvenate the forest. There you go. I'm not going to get too far into it, but these people are Israelites. You can clearly see through their spirit they're Israelites. Okay, the scriptures talk about Israel we're the foremost of all things. You know, we are those sons of the living power that were chosen from the beginning of the foundations of this earth. And, you know, the Lord gave us that spirit.
In an era of record-setting migration, when borders seem to be getting thicker, harder to cross, Colombia is doing something that you don't see very often. It's opening its doors and it's letting people in. The border crisis is shocking. The humanitarian crisis.
The economic
Give me a
crisis
new one.
there is
Salaki.
going to get worse. Is there a point at which Colombia and other countries in Latin America step in and say enough is enough?
So I'm just kind of borrowing from the video because they do good production, but a lot of these people are Israelites and they're going to be sealed, and they're under the same curses as us. So, you know, we're supposed to have, just like we have patience because, you know, you grew up around black people or something, you understand black people, you have a certain level of patience when you deal with your own black people because you understand them. We have to have a certain level of patience when we're dealing with all these other types of people as well. You know, and the same goes for us. You know, they're going to have that same patience for us, that same level of respect. You know, we have to, and this, I'm just speaking for myself first and foremost because I haven't had a lot of interactions with, you know, people from different northern kingdoms or something like that. But part of being a judge, which the Lord set up judges, he set up prophets, he set up disciples, he set up all these different people, teachers. You have to be judicious, meaning, matter of fact, let's look that up real quick. I'm going to end it off on that. Yep. Having, showing, or done with good judgment or sense. Wise, sensible, prudent, astute. There you go. You know, we're the Israelites. We're those men. We're those astute men using good judgment, being sensible. So, hey, with that, just a quick one. All praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Makakadash, the one I say, Pastor Elder Straight Millstone. Hey, shalom to you, sincere brothers. Hopefully, this is edifying for you. Shalom.